Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you all the fragrances that I have desperately missed during my stay in Egypt. I went to Egypt for 2 months to take care of my mother who had to undergo a surgery. It was kind of a very quick decision to go. I was not able to take time to think about what I'm going to take with me. It's not like I didn't take any fragrances. I did take some fragrances that I decluttered as a gift for family members that I know that they will definitely enjoy. But since I am a fragrance lover, I did miss some fragrances in my collection. And it was quite surprisingly what fragrances I've missed because it's not what I typically reach for. I will also share with you my thoughts and some fragrances that I have smelled when I was there, and one of them is a Middle East exclusive release, and I'm talking about Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal Gold. So if you want to know about my top fragrances that I have missed during my travel, as well as a first impression on the exclusive Middle East release Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal Gold, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. Let's start by the obvious choice, and that is Nobile 1942, La Danza delle Libelulle. This I have bought just before traveling, I mean maybe 2 weeks before traveling, so it's quite new to my collection. It was, as I said before, love at first sniff, one of the best discoveries and purchases of 2021. I actually bought that for my birthday. It's definitely a fragrance that lives up to the hype, in my opinion. It's all about apple, cinnamon, vanilla. It's very gourmand, it's sweet, it smells like apple pie. It's such a stunning fragrance that just brings me happiness. And this is maybe why I've missed this one in Egypt, because as you all know, I was really stressed. It was not exactly a happy time for me, so I tended to miss more of the fragrances that bring me happiness, and this is definitely one of the top. That's the only thing I don't like about this fragrance is longevity. It has kind of a weak to moderate longevity on my skin. I know some people don't have the same experience, but at least on me, this fragrance doesn't last long. Fortunately, it does last better on clothes, so I tend to spray this one on my clothes to get this beautiful smell. It has a moderate sillage, which is totally fine for me. It's the only thing I would have wished for a better longevity on this fragrance. So 1942, La Danza delle Libelulle. In the same vibe, a happy fragrance that I've missed so much, and it was quite surprising for me, not because I don't like the scent, but because it's not exactly my go-to fragrance or my go-to everyday fragrance. And I'm talking about Jean Paul Gaultier La Belle. As you can see, I already put a big dent on this fragrance. Again, a sweet fragrance, but totally different to La Danza delle Libelulle. This is more sexy. It's fruity, it's pear, vanilla, toned down with a little bit of vetiver. It's just a stunning fragrance, and most people really love the scent. It's very long lasting and has a strong sillage, so it checks all the boxes. And again, I think I was missing this fragrance in particular because I wanted this happy dose. I wanted a little bit something sweet to uplift me. I really missed mostly sweet fragrances, and this is definitely one of the exceptions when it comes to sweet fragrances in my collection, because I'm not a sweet fragrance lover, but love this one. La Belle, Jean Paul Gaultier. Speaking about recently purchased fragrances, another one that I have missed a lot is Dolce & Gabbana The One. This is a very recent release. Just before leaving, I did a review on this fragrance, and I absolutely love it. I'm not the biggest fan of Dolce & Gabbana in general, but this one I really like. I didn't like the original one, but the gold edition is just stunning. Again, if you want to know more details about this fragrance, I will leave the video I did linked up here if you want to watch it. This is a fruity rose patchouli combination. If you hear rose patchouli, you maybe think about fragrances that have a little bit of a sheep or like an adult vibe to them. This is not it. It's the fruitiness here that comes from the plum, and also the vanilla just makes this fragrance very unique, just work beautifully in combination with the patchouli and rose. Beautiful blend. I absolutely love it. I'm not a big fan of gold shiny bottles in general, so I know a lot of people love this bottle. I personally don't, but the scent itself is amazing. One of the best releases in my opinion in 2021. Has also an amazing performance, so it also checks all the boxes. For me, this one maybe I have missed mostly because I was wearing this one before going. But now, even thinking about it, I would have never took with me this bottle. This is quite heavy, and this is 50 ml, I think. Yes, this is a 50 ml, and the bottle is quite heavy, so not really travel friendly. So for a signature scent or an everyday scent that is also appropriate for almost all occasions, Dolce & Gabbana, the one. The next fragrance was not a surprise for me. I should have taken this one with me. This is Musc Noir from Narciso Rodriguez. This is a beautiful plum musky scent with a hint of suede, I think, in the notes. There is also heliotrope. It's such a cozy, clean scent. So I usually wear this to bed. It's definitely a bed scent for me. Not that I didn't wear this one in other occasions, I did. But I mostly wear this to bed also because of the bed performance. As this one doesn't last long and it doesn't project much. So for me, this is the perfect bed scent, and it quickly replaced my Pure Musk from Narciso Rodriguez. So every time I went to bed, I really missed my Narciso Musc Noir. Another fragrance that I've missed and I was really surprised, and until now I don't know why I have missed it so much, is Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. This is a very deep, thick, dense tobacco vanilla fragrance. It's almost a little bit sticky because there is dried fruit. I love dried fruit in fragrances, I have discovered. This beautiful combination of vanilla, tobacco, dried fruit just is perfect for wintertime. Unisex fragrance, amazing performance. And I think now that I'm talking about it, maybe I've missed this one because this gives me vibe of winter in Egypt. I don't know why, but for some reason, yeah, it evokes winter in Egypt. So yeah, maybe this is why I've missed this one. And I am thinking about getting maybe not the big bottle, but a small bottle of Tobacco Vanille. Definitely a fragrance that is worth the hype. Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. Next two fragrances are from the Armani Prive collection. Maybe this is hands down my favorite private collection of a designer fragrance, and the first one is Ambre Eccentrico. One of the best amber fragrances I've ever smelled. This is cinnamon, amber, dried fruit. There is also plum. So as you can see, plum is one of the notes that I really like. And this one, I know why I have missed so much, because I have used it the last time I went to Egypt, and it's kind of was associated with a little bit of memory there. So this is maybe why I have missed it so much. It's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful fragrance that has an amazing lasting power. I wouldn't say it's a beast mode, because when it comes to sillage, it's between moderate and strong. Be careful when spraying this one, because it can overwhelm you. I did that the last time, and I was in the airplane and I was almost suffocating. So, but still, I love this fragrance. So Ambre Eccentrico from Armani Prive. The last one is a unicorn fragrance. This is Myrrhe Imperiale from Armani Prive. I know this one is not available anymore. I was really lucky to find it on the Armani official website last year. This is Myrrhe, like Myrrhe's lover's dream. Of course, there is a big dose of myrrhe, but there is also amber, saffron, vanilla, benzoin, a beautiful oriental fragrance that I'm really happy that I have added it to my collection. I got this one actually for my birthday. So mainly I missed this one because it was a recent purchase and I didn't have like the chance to play with it and wear it. So yeah, again, I've really missed it when I went, and now that I returned, I will definitely wear this one a lot. So Myrrhe Imperiale from Armani Prive. So these were all the fragrances that I've missed. A lot of them, as you can see, were a big surprise for me because they are not in my 10 fragrances for life. But this shows that also, fragrances are related to the occasion and the place you live in. So maybe if I were living in Egypt, my selection would be totally different. I think most probably yes. And now let's talk about the fragrances that I have tested when I was in Egypt. I've smelled. I went honestly only once to the stores. I had no chance to go out. But when I did, I immediately went to one of the stores to test some fragrances, and I was really happy that I did, because some that I have smelled I could not find here in Italy. For example, Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal Gold. Others are fragrances that are widely available, but I never find in a store, at least here in Italy. And I'm talking about vancleef&arpels fragrances. And let's start with the first one from vancleef&arpels, Bois Dore. Of course, I'm going to read from my notes. I wanted to film a video there, but unfortunately I had no time. So I will just read you from my notes. So Bois Dore was quite an unexpected fragrance for me. It's vanilla, yes, but it's kind of a unique vanilla. It's a cold vanilla that is totally unisex. I actually remember how this fragrance smells. It's really, really difficult to describe. It's kind of a vanilla that is not really sweet. It has a little bit of sweetness yet, yes, but it's a little bit cold and woodsy, but not your typical woody vanilla fragrance. I found this one to be a fragrance that is signature worthy, in my opinion, that is really unoffensive, but still unique. Everyday fragrance, which took me by surprise, because reading the notes I would have expected a very sweet, almost gourmand fragrance, but it's actually not. Of course, I can't talk about longevity and sillage because I did not test this fragrance on my skin, but that was my first impression. Another vancleef&arpels that took me by surprise, because as you all know, I am not a gourmand or vanilla lover, is Orchidee Vanille. So Orchidee Vanille is a sweet vanilla, so it's not like the previous one. So this is more of a typical sweet fragrance, vanilla free sweet fragrance. It has definitely a gourmand touch because there is chocolate and almond in the fragrance. There's also tonka different to Bois Dore. This is a little bit of a gourmandish sweet vanilla. It's not a fragrance that will give you diabetes, if you know what I mean. It's sweet in the right dosage. I tested this one on my skin actually, but it did not last very long. I like it, but I don't know if I would purchase it. I would have liked to test it around more, so I'm still on the fence about Orchidee Vanille. Please tell me in the comments down below, what do you think about this fragrance? I know it's one of their best sellers and a lot of people love it. So please tell me your experience with this fragrance and if you like it or not, especially if you are not a gourmand lover. Another vancleef&arpels that I tested is Ambre Imperiale. Of course, I love amber, so I had to test this one. And I'm saying in my notes that it's a beautiful, almost fresh amber, not thick or too sweet. You definitely smell the amber and also the vanilla, but it's not long lasting. And I do remember the smell of it. It did remind me of some fragrance, but I just can't remember which one. Is it a good fragrance? Yes, absolutely, I like it. Is it a must-have? I would say no. It's nice, but it's mostly a generic amber fragrance. So this one, I don't think that I will add to my collection, but if I have the chance, I will definitely test it more around. A fragrance that I don't know if it's a Middle East exclusive or not, because I never saw this fragrance in any of the stores, not even online. So if you know if this is a Middle East exclusive or not, please tell me in the comments down below. And I'm talking about Narciso Rodriguez Pure Musc Absolu. So this one is very similar to the original. So you get this typical musk of Narciso Rodriguez that is clean and classy and sophisticated. You have a little bit of a floral touch, but mostly the difference that I've noticed between the two is that the Absolute version is a little bit denser, I would say. It's kind of sweeter, but just a hint, a touch. It has a better performance, by the way. So if you love pure musk and you wanted a better performing fragrance, then definitely go for the Absolute version. It's as if you took the original one, you made it a little bit sweeter and also a little bit denser. It's definitely denser. I would say almost a little bit milky. It's not a lactonic fragrance, but it has a milkiness in it. So heavier, better performing, slightly sweeter version of the original Pure Musk from Narciso Rodriguez. And the last one that I have tried is the limited edition Middle East exclusive Jean Paul Gaultier Scandale Gold. Let me start by saying I was a little bit disappointed with this fragrance. So if you look up the notes, you will see there is honey, saffron, cardamom, cypriol oil, rose, jasmine, patchouli, leather, and sandalwood. So it's quite different to the original one, and it is. You will get the honey, but it's not so sticky like the original one. So the honey actually in the gold edition did not bother me at all. What bothered me in this fragrance is the cypriol. I'm not a big fan of cypriol oil. It was quite predominant, especially in the opening. You will get also saffron. I think if they have toned down the cypriol a little bit, I would have definitely bought it. I personally also got the leather. Leather combined with cypriol was a little bit too much for me, and I wish that I could test this fragrance more around, but I was quite disappointing. And for the first time, I would say I would have hoped for a bigger dosage of honey in it, or something else that to balance out the cypriol note. Definitely an oriental fragrance, and maybe this is why it's a Middle East exclusive. So I wouldn't recommend this one for those who are in love with the Scandal line. So they love the sticky, sweet honey note. I think you wouldn't like this one unless you love also oriental fragrances and you love cypriol, leather, and saffron in your fragrances, or you are a collector and you want to have all the Scandal line. Otherwise, I don't know. I was quite disappointed. Again, this is the first impression. For sure, if I ever go to Egypt once more, I will test it again. But for now, I don't like it so much. I did test it on my skin, longevity and sillage, whereas expected. I would say it's not a beast mode like Scandal, the original one, or even By Night. It still has a good projection, but not so much like these two. But it's very, very, very long lasting. So yeah, so that was Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal Gold, and that was it. I did test some more fragrances, but they were not worth mentioning, and I even didn't like put my notes on these. So yeah, so these were all the fragrances that I've smelled and also the fragrances that I've missed when I was in Egypt. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. I have quite exciting videos now for January, so make sure to hit that button. Please tell me in the comments down below what fragrances you mostly miss when you travel. I'm really curious about that, and I love to chat with you guys. So thanks a lot for watching and see you in my next video. Ciao!